Hello all, this is Arjun. So in this video, we will be doing a numerical based on the design of shaft. Earlier, in our previous videos, we have discussed few parameters regarding design of shaft. Also, we defined some factors KB, KT of ASME code in our previous videos, which balanced the fatigue and shock in bending and torsion. Okay, so this is a question. The layout of an intermediate shaft of a gearbox supporting two spur gear B and C. Just hold on a minute. Okay, so this is my gear B, this is my gear C, this is my shaft, this is my shaft. Okay, all right. So the shaft is mounted on two bearings A and D. So this is a bearing A, this is a bearing D. The shaft is mounted in these two bearings. The pitch circle diameter of gear B and C are 900 mm and 600 mm respectively. So my pitch circle diameter of my gear B is 900 and for my gear C is 600. Okay, all right. So what is given next? The material of shaft is steel, and for that material my SUT, which is my ultimate tensile strength, is 770 Newton per mm square. My SYT, which is my yield strength, is 580 Newton per mm square, right? So the strength of my material is given, which I'll be using to design this shaft. So also the factors KB and KT of ASME code are 1.5 and 2. So KB is 1.5 and KT is 2. So KT I'll be multiplying with my torsion moment, and KB I'll be multiplying with my bending moment to balance shocks, fatigues, those factors. So for that if you need some explanation for those factors, you have to see my previous video on design of shaft. Then determine the shaft diameter using the ASME code, assuming the gears are connected to the shaft by the means of key. Okay, so my gears, they are connected with the shaft by the means of key. So obviously we will be multiplying our Tom max by 0.75, which I'll be discussing further. So let's start this question. So we know this distance is given, which is 900. This is 900. This is also 900 mm. So if these forces are given, these forces are given means torsion or our torsion moment is given on those gears. Also, the diameter of the pitch circle diameter of these two gears are given. So this force, hold on, this force, which is this one 4421, will be multiplied with the radius of this gear, will get the torsion. Same scenario, this force 6631 should be multiplied with this distance, and we will get our torsion. The torsion should be equivalent. That's why they have derived these two forces. We can take any of it and we can find the torsion later, which will be needing in the next stage. So let's talk about what is our permissible shear stress. So our permissible shear stress, first we need to multiply 0.30 SYT or 0.18 SUT. Whichever is lower, we will take that. Suppose if this is lower, we will take this one. If this is lower, we will take this one, right? So by that we used this, and 0.30 into 580 comes equal to 174, and 0.18 into 770 comes equal to 138.6. So this is lower, 138.6. So we will take this is our permissible shear stress. Further it is given what is given, that our gears are connected to the shaft via key. So we will be multiplying 138.6 by the factor 0.75 to get final tau max or our permissible stress. Okay, done. Then comes our next step, which is so I told you that we will calculate tau max by multiplying 0.75 with this factor 138.6, and we'll get our tau max as 103.95 Newton per mm square. So this is our maximum shear stress a rod could sustain or our material could sustain. Beyond that, our material will fail, right? So now we need to find bending and torsion moment in our shaft, which is occurring due to those forces, right? So I have taken the vertical plane. So forces in my vertical plane were 1609 and 6631. How? I'll just show you. Hold on a minute. I think. Okay, this is just hold on. Yeah, this force and this force. See the direction of both of these forces are same, 1609 and 6631. Similarly, in another plane, this force and this force will come into play, right? So we'll be taking one by one since they both are in different planes. So first I'll be taking vertical plane. So in my vertical plane, these two forces are there. The differences between their the length is 900 and 900. So the points are A, B, C, D. Already I have shown you in the shaft. So in my A, the direction is suppose RA. In the point D, the direction is RD. So by fixing D point, I will take moments around D point and I will find RA. So my RA is equal to, by this equation, the RA into the distance 2700. Since it is moving anti-clockwise, I have just taken it, assumed it as negative. Then 1609 into 1800 negative anti-clockwise. Then 6631.5 clockwise into 900, which is positive. So my RA comes equal to 1137.83 Newton. So again, sum of all the forces should be come to 0 if my shaft is in equilibrium. So my with that I can find my RD. So RD should be equal to 6631.5 minus 1609 minus 1137.83, right, which was equal to RA. So RD came like 3884.66, right? So now I have found the value of these two forces. So let's go to our next step, right? So now I'll be finding moment due to that. So the moment at point C will be equal to I have to go back. See, the moment at point C is equal to RD is moving. If I'm taking from the right hand side, the clockwise should be negative from right hand side. So RD into this point, this distance should be the moment in at point C. So RD is equal to 3884.66 into 900 will be my moment at point C. And for point at point B, the moment should be RA into this distance. And since it is I'm taking from left hand side, the anti-clockwise will be negative and clockwise will be positive, right? So here, so the BM at point C is RD into 900 minus 3884.6 into 900, this came in negative. And also BM at B, RA into 900, which will be negative since it is anti-clockwise, and from the, if I'll take a moment from right hand side, it should be clockwise will be negative, and from left hand side anti-clockwise will be negative. So my moment came to be 3496194 in negative, and BM at B came to be 1024047, which was also in negative. So I've plotted that. So I've plotted, this is my moment at B, this is my moment at C. So as I can see, a moment at C is maximum here, that is 3196194. So now I'll take another plane, which is my horizontal plane. So for my horizontal plane, I'll be plotting those two forces which I mentioned you earlier. So here, these two forces, which is this one and this one. So I'll be plotting that forces there, right? Okay, this 4421 and 2413.67. By same manner, we'll be finding reactions RA and reactions RB. By what manner? By the same manner, like this is the distance 900, 900 and 900. So right, so I'll be taking this D point as stationary, and I'll be taking moments around D point. So RA into 2700 clockwise in this direction, then 4421 into 1800 anti-clockwise index in this direction, again 2413.67 into 900, which is clockwise in this direction, so positive, right? So it should come equal to, R into 2700 minus 4421 into 1800 plus 2413.67 into 900. So by that I can calculate my RA, which came equal to 2142.776, which is in positive, right? So I think earlier we have read about hogging and sagging. So we will be like we won't be discussing it here right now. So my reaction came as positive. So direction should be the same. If in case my reaction would have been negative over here, I will be changing my direction like this. So my RA will be acting like this manner, right? So since it came positive, that's why I won't be changing my direction. Again, suppose I have taken RB in this direction. Suppose you can take RB also in this direction. Then what will you do? You will add RA plus 2413 plus RB equal to 4421. In that manner, RD will come negative. Since I knew that it will come negative, then I have to change the direction. So I have taken RD in this manner, right? Already. So my RD will come equal to 135.45 newtons. So now I have found reactions RA, reactions RD for my horizontal plane. Again, what I'll do, I'll find moment at point C and at point B. So moment at point C will be RD, which is moving clockwise, into 900, means negative. The moment at C will come in negative by I'll be multiplying 135.45 into 2 into 900, right? And in this side, moment at B by this force will move clockwise direction, so it should be positive. So again, the moment at B will be positive in this point due to RA is acting upwards. So this will give a clockwise moment, and clockwise in from the left hand side is positive. Clockwise from left hand side is positive, right? So it should come as moment at B should be equal to RA, which is 2142 into 900, right? So let's go further. Next page. Yes, right. So as you can see here, as you can see, the BM at B is RA into 900, which is 2142.78 into 900, and it should become equal to 1928502 Newton per mm, which is in positive. And again BM at C is equal to 135.45 into 900, which came in negative, which is 121905 here and here, right? So this is positive, I have drawn it like this. This is negative, I have drawn it like this, right? So now if I'll compare the both graphs, the maximum bending moment is occurring at C point, right? If I'll compare these two of these graphs, this graph and this graph, the maximum moment is occurring in this point. So I'll be taking moment at C point, right? So since the maximum bending moment is at point C, so my bending moment will be, since these two planes are perpendicular to each other, the horizontal plane and vertical plane perpendicular to each other, so my MB will be equal to 121,905 whole square plus 34,96194 whole square. Yeah, see, this came from this and this came from the previous figure. They both are at point C, right? So I'll be taking the whole square and I'll be taking root, and I'll be finally I'll be finding the bending moment, which is equal to this. Then comes for torsion moment. I told you in the beginning of the question that due to that forces I can easily find the torsion with my pitch circle diameter of the gear. So 6631.5 into, since the pitch circle diameter is 600, so the radius will be 300, sorry. So if you multiply that, you'll get this as my torsion moment. So my MB is there, my MT is there. Now I have to find the diameter, right? Just hold on. Okay, so this is the formula we'll be using from data book, right? So KB is given, KT is given, KB is 1.5, KT is 2, MB we have found, MT we have found, tau max we have found in the early stage. So now from here we can calculate our shaft diameter, which is equal to d cube 16 upon pi this, and I have multiplied that. So just hold on a minute, I'll just make it visible. Yeah, now it is visible. So finally my diameter came to 68.664 mm, which I can approximately take it as 69 mm. So with that manner, this question will be over, and finally our design of shaft is complete.